Sassy, I'm sorry. It's probably my fault because I haven't been able to do this for like a month. I'm sorry. You know what? Here, hold on. Hold on. I don't want you to have missed out. We're una momento, por favor. Also, hi, everybody. It's time. Everything's okay. I sound worse than I am at this point, which is good because last stream I sounded better than I was. I realized pretty immediately after last stream that I should not have streamed, and it was the beginning of my very massive backslide. It was bad. It got real bad. It got real bad over here, you guys. Jeff almost canceled his trip, and I was starting to look up at, like, my search history is, like, a bunch of things related to, at what point do you go to the hospital? It was not good. But we're getting there. I think I'm finally on an upswing. So that's good. Alright, Sassy, are you here? Tucker, you look suspicious. What'd you just grab? What'd you just grab? Come back here. What'd you do? Give me that. No. No, sir. Fucking little shit. Okay. Sassy, this one's for you.
Nice.
There you go. It says my name, but pretend it had your name. Anyways. God, this tea's magic. I got a nice little care package from Lo Mom today with some get well stuff in it, including an apricot ginger tea, which is going great with the ginger syrup that Jackie made me. This is some magic shit. Yeah, we're not gonna... No Zelda spoilers. There will be a brief Zelda conversation I want to have, because I have to make fun of Jeff for something. I love you, honey. I love you so much. I have to make fun of Jeff for something. But I will warn everybody. I'll be like, if you don't want to know anything about anything, I'll give the preface of, like, when we get to that point, being like, if you've been up to this point, everything I'm about to say is fine. If you haven't and you don't want to hear it, earmuff. And we'll go from there, but I do need to laugh about a thing. I would make fun of Jeff is not the correct... That's not the correct description of it. He has not played it yet, but he has seen Reddit memes, and he was trying to describe one to me, and the way he described it was unhinged. And so I just need to repeat that. I'm not gonna hold the cup full of hot liquid while I die. Everything's great. Okay. I'm gonna catch up on chat now. Everything's good. I'll be real, part of the reason I streamed last week is because I was hoping more people, like, wouldn't... If anybody had their nice resub, I wanted people to have a chance to do it before it rolled over, because it had been 3 weeks since I had streamed. So I did try. So tonight will be a short stream again. Because like I said, last time I realized I should not have streamed. And it was really not good. And I am definitely doing better. Flying Brian! Thank you so much for the 4 months and for using that Prime. Thank you for making Jeff Bezos give me money. That's like the sweetest part of a Prime sub, is taking money directly from a billionaire. So I super appreciate it. But what was I saying? Oh my god. Streamed last week, did a thing, was not doing well. I had a point. I don't remember what it was. It will be a short stream. Oh, yeah. So I am doing better. Still have a ways to go, clearly. But I was like, oh, I'm doing better. I can start, like, doing some things. So I started trying to get some work done again, but I'm trying to take it easy. And apparently I did too much. Because what happened is today I had an awful time waking up. I'm just so... Like, when they say, like, oh, one of the symptoms is fatigue. Like, I've been fatigued. Like, I have all kinds of other health issues. I've had, like, the medical fatigue and whatever. This has been on a level that I would not wish on anyone. This has been insane. For 2 weeks straight, I slept 18 hours a day minimum. This shit's rough. This morning, I was like, I cannot wake up for the life of me. So I was like, okay, we're not going to do any work this morning. I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to chill. I'll play a little Zelda. Because originally I was supposed to have this week off just to play Zelda, but I was like, I've been away for 3 weeks because of the Rona, because of the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. I was like, I gotta do some things. So I was like, I'm not gonna work this morning. Take it easy until lunch. After lunch, I'll get some stuff done. And then I had lunch and I was like, I'm like really tired. I'll lay down for a little bit. Anyways, I took a 4-hour nap. Oops. So I've gotten no work done today. So I was like, okay, clearly I'm struggling a little bit again. But you know, we're gonna do, so yeah. So we'll play for a bit. We'll have some story time because I still gotta talk about the disaster that was us trying to get home from Nashville. I will at some point leave to refresh my tea. Yeah, and then we'll kill it early so I can go sleepies. Are you sure you're on an upswing? Yes, I'm very sure. I'm very sure. I can't properly express how bad I was for so long. The fact that I have been sick for 2 solid weeks, and that was with Paxlovid treatment, that should tell you a lot. That fever was the worst fever I've ever experienced. And not from the number. I've had higher fevers before. I have not ever had a fever that made me so cold and yet so sweaty at the same time. And that was constant for days. I was taking 3 showers a day just to not feel super gross and also to have steam make it so I could breathe. That was bad. There was the 18 hours a day of sleeping. And then there was even while I was awake, not really being able to do anything. I had no appetite. I subsisted literally entirely on a diet of toast and saltines and cream cheese, and then the congee that Jackie brought. If I didn't have that, I think I would have perished. It was bad enough that like Jeff almost canceled his work trip, and his work trip this time was like a big deal. Because if it was like a normal work trip, you're like, yeah, I just won't go and I'll take care of you. This was like, so this is definitely an upswing because I've been awake for more than 6 hours in a 24-hour period. Actually, in this 24-hour period, I don't know if that's accurate. Yeah, the brain fog is real, like, especially because I have untreated, unmanaged ADHD type of things, which is already kind of brain foggy. So that I will lose track of what I'm saying as it's coming out of my mouth now. And some of you are like, that's not different than normal. No, it's like it's not good. Hi, Joe. We need to shout out Joe, who has the best comedic timing. I think while I've been super sick, I got 2 texts from Joe, and one was a bunch of Gizmo pictures with his cute little teeths, and then the other one was of a pool noodle saying I'm not allowed to die because we still have a fight to do. And that was fucking great. Let's see, I'm catching up. My wife got this, her fever was so bad, not Tempest, but yeah, she thought Tim Burton's Charlie the Chocolate Factory was a quality movie. Wow, sick burn. Sick burn. Damn. I don't think I said or did anything too ridiculous. I did at some point. I needed something going on in the background when I was awake but I didn't want to, like, one of the things I kept seeing was, like, do not engage your brain. Do not do it. Let your brain rest. That means, like, don't read. Don't do things where you have to, like, absorb new information. So Antroka wants me to hydrate. Here's some water. So it's like, don't read. And I was like, okay, cool. It's like, don't read. It's like, I shouldn't watch anything new where I need to absorb information. So it's like, I need to put something on, like, in the background that I have already consumed and it is familiar. So I at least have something to, like, occupy brain space. Banana, thank you so much for the 33 months. It's so many. So I was like, I need something in the background that I can, like, that is familiar, that's not gonna, like, engage new brain space, but, like, is something to occupy thoughts so I'm not just staring at the ceiling and going insane. And so what I decided to do is watch a bunch of old Game Grumps. So I watched all the Zelda CDI videos, and then I started the Mario Maker playlist over again. There's 164 videos in that playlist. I started on the first one. I got up to 130. I'd, like, fall asleep to it, so it's not like I actively watched that much. It was like I would just put it on and just have my laptop on my bed and just lay down, and I would at some point pass out, and then at some point wake up. It was a good time. Yes, you know what? I didn't do the pool noodle justice. It did have a foam shark on it. You were absolutely correct. Okay. Fuck. This tea is so good. Here's a problem. Is I recognize I need to drink hot tea right now because it's good for this whole situation. It is 86 degrees here. So this is good for this, but also I'm so uncomfortably hot right now. God, there's just no winning. Anyways. We're in a palace. Persona. I switched to Persona. Nobody else was in my brain when that conversational transition happened. We got into a palace. We didn't get really into it. But we are technically in it. So we're just gonna start doing that. And hope we don't die before James gets here. Hi, Jess. I love you too. I am definitely better than I was. I'm no longer considering when I need to go to the hospital, which is an improvement. Oopsies. I didn't mean to do that. That's fine. My controller wasn't responding. Pro tip: if you ever need to get a solicitor to leave your house, if you open the front door while wearing an N95 and you're actively coughing, they will leave. Someone knocked on the door tonight, right before I took the dogs for their mini walk, and and I didn't want to just, like, not answer the door because Jeff is not here. He did ask a couple of neighbors to keep an eye on me just to make sure I didn't die. And I don't know if he's been keeping them up to date on the fact that, like, I'm out of the danger zone at this point. And so I was like, and I couldn't tell through the little peephole who it was. So I was like, I'm gonna open the door, but so I put the mask on, and I opened the door just to crack and lean out just as, like, a coughing fit hits me. So I'm like, and I was like, hello. He's like, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I just wanted, and he, like, gives me he tells me, like, he's gonna be doing some work on the house next door tomorrow, and just wanted to give me a heads up that the truck was gonna be there, and we were there for the neighbor, and not to worry. And then, like, asked, he's like, do you have somebody taking care of this for you? He's like, we actually do. He's like, okay, great, you have a great day. And he fucking bolted. I was like, perfect, shortest interaction. I love this. This will be my method going forward if I have to open the door. And I don't know if I have to open the door and I'm not sure who it is. I'm just gonna put on a mask and act sick. Because it was very effective. What is the best name for... I know you said not for me, but I'm going to read the question anyways. Banana has a question for everyone. What is the best name for a meat blend of pork and chicken? Is it pickin', porkin', shork, not chork? I will veto chork. What do you mean a blend? Like, okay, the phrase meat blend. Like, I'm sure you mean, like, different, like, ground meats, like, mixed together. And it's, so, like, that's reasonable. But the phrase meat blend is truly something. Oh god, no, I want my mouse over here. Hi, Zoo. I don't know if I said hi. I might have. I don't remember anything more than 10 seconds ago. Hi, Metric. Ashley's home. Yay. No, Chork is not the perfect name. Chork is the worst name. Villain. The person with villain in their name said to go with Chork. So I really feel like this is the biggest clue. Joe banned Chork. Thank you, Joe. Like, where did this question come from? It's a blend of shredded chicken and shredded pork. I don't... And here's the other thing. I was even thinking about ground stuff and you said it's shredded. I don't know why. My brain does not like these things being combined. I think it's probably because they definitely have different textures. Those meats have different textures in a shredded form, at the very least. I don't like those mixing. Farron started a new campaign with a new party today. Yay! You need to tell us about this character. Tell us about it. I want to hear it. Of course, Ashley would also like Chork. Cereal snacking. Okay, what cereal do you snack on? This is a very important question. Because there's no judgment. I say there's no judgment. You might say something completely unhinged right now. In which case, then maybe there'll be judgment. But no, it's like, I fucking love snacking, cereal snacking. I used to do corn pops all the time. That would be, I just put some in a bowl and just eat those. Anyways, my nose is just a little bit runny, and it's worse that it's just a little bit. Yes, this is okay. Oreo cereal? Is this now? Did you just put a bunch of Oreos in a bowl? Because again, no judgment on that. But or is this actually a cereal? I genuinely do not know. Oh yeah, Kashi, I've heard of it. So okay, no, that's a responsible cereal snack as opposed to me with my bowl full of corn pops. Okay, we got this far earlier. We had to go back there to have a save point. We got here. We fought a dog. I think we tried to go up here. Which one is my run button? One of these is a run. That one. Yeah, and that's locked. So yeah, can't do that. Okay, got it. Oreo made a cereal. I'll be damned. Okay. Just fucking... I've been playing too much of the fucking Zelda, so like all my buttons are like rotated 90 degrees from where I expect them to be.
Let's go. The first move is ours.
What happened? I don't know why that happened. I'm a high enough level I could. What are these horses?
Let's rock.
I keep forgetting to change their fucking outfits. I had very little notice, so I'm recycling an old fave. Oh, fuck yeah. Divine Soul Sorcerer Asmar, yes. Backstory, she's a follower of Eldath, a good aligned pacifist goddess. Okay. Find that pacifism sometimes limits her effectiveness as a source of good. Okay. Oh yeah, no, these are, she probably has a Power Rangers outfit. I put that one on because James was like, try this one. We will see what color Power Ranger she is after this fight. giant poop moth that she rides in a battle. Hell yeah. Okay. I gotta remember what everybody's shit is. Oh, I'm on... It's not me, it's you. Okay, yeah, so you're electric. On is fire. I don't know what Gwen is.
Ready when you are.
And I'm whatever. Yeah, okay, I'm getting there. How can you still not electric everybody? Sure, do that one.
Tough.
The enemy is electrified.
No, the colors were just...
You might get shot.
They just... Like, the red one was the leader. The pink and the yellows were the girls. So, of course, right now. So, I imagine she's probably yellow. Since we already have a pink.
I'll use my persona.
Oh, that's right. You're nuclear, which I fucking love. Oh, God. Oh, God. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Again, all my buttons are rotated.
Out of our way.
Okay. You're electrocuted, which means something. I don't remember what I'm supposed to do to electrified people. We'll just try to burn everybody. Okay. Okay. I can technical on the one, so I can technical him. But I would like to pick him up. So...
Don't rush it.
We're evenly matched here.
I can
Just
try
don't let your guard down.
ice or wind. I'm gonna try ice, because I don't imagine wind will do anything.
Let's go.
I have to have somebody who has ice. There we go. Let's try you. Oh, shit biscuits! That one. Alright. Mabufu.
Go down.
Mabufu. Alright, that's what it is. Alright. I want to talk. Lend me your power. Oh, he just called me a Joe Schmo. I like how reds are either leaders or like the sacrificial. Like even like the red shirts in Star Trek. The fucking people in charge also wore red, and it's like, all right, well you're either super safe or very not, or you will just be like officer number one. Those are the two choices. That's a hell of a gun. All right.
This one seems gloomy. Don't say
Okay.
anything too forceful.
God, you're just made of meat. All right. You're gloomy. Okay. All right, that one did it. Wow. Wow, this horse is a dick. Oh. Oh, I don't... What are you... This doesn't feel very gloomy. This feels kinda horny. Oh, perfect.
Oh yeah!
That was kind of me guessing.
I am thou, thou art I.
No, I
That's a
didn't.
new one, isn't it?
I said those words, but not in that order. You put them in that order and changed the meaning, Banana. All new skill.
Fits me like a glove.
Okay.
Fuck, that's not where X is. God damn it. All right. Anyways, hey, hide, because I don't know where anything is right now. Okay. Oh god. It's Rhaegar! Thank you for the 22 months. Yeah, let's go ahead and just murder you real quick, just like for the giggles. Are you? Oh, Rhaegar, I've been visiting the Backstreet Boys reunion tour for the last 2 weeks. So. Oh, hello.
Persona!
Yeah, so we'll
Let's go, Captain!
do that.
Get it, Skull.
I mean, I'm definitely better than I was. So, oh, that knocked you down. Perfect. Okay. Do I have an electric? Everybody? We'll try it.
Not over yet.
Persona.
You have... Zio's just the regular. Oh, that one? Yes.
Kameno Uzume. Ravage them.
Perfect.
Right in their weak spot.
Okay. Let's pick you up too. I wish I could remember what brought up that quote. I really... Some of these, man, I miss having context.
I'll let it go.
It seems jolly. Try cracking a joke.
Okay. I like that it seems to be giving me more direction on these, which is great. It's got you're on cooldown. You gotta wait. I might already need to refresh my tea. I thought I'd be able to at least make it till James got here. Am I gonna give it to her? God, everybody's so horny. Oh my god. None of these are cracking a joke. This feels aggressive. That feels dismissive. So we'll go there. All right, perfect.
How about something else?
Again, aggressive. Yeah, all those other ones felt aggressive, so we're just gonna do that.
Ooh. I am thou. Thou art I.
There's a lot happening here.
Your power's incredible, Joker.
Oh, that's right. I need to put what's her butt in her Power Ranger outfit. God, I gotta remember how to get to this stuff. Whip. Okay, it's Featherman. Oh, does she not have one? Oh, there it is. All right. Oh, I like the purple. Oh, I hear sparkles. Uh-oh. Yeah, she really is. I didn't think purple was a Ranger color. I think that they might have just done that for this. Maybe they added purple in future Ranger things. I don't fucking know. But yeah, she's definitely leaning into the Gwenness real hard. Where's the sparkles? Alright, you gonna get close enough for me to do a stabby stab? No, okay, you leave. Oh god. This is not hiding. This is so not hiding. That button. I don't know where the sparkles were. How is that man not seeing this?
Show me your true form.
All right, the first move is ours.
Everything's fine.
Give me my cue, Joker.
I feel like this has to do it. Oh, that's a resist. We're not playing by Pokemon rules.
Charge, Johanna! Knockdown, queen!
Perfect.
Drop them on the rope!
This is all so sudden.
That's ironic. A shadow with a sunny expression. Let's match its mood.
Mm.
What?
Okay.
Do you accept? This is all so sudden. Really?
Oh, she's a high pixie. Got 420 pixie. Let's go. Oh, fuck. Alright. Shit. I know I need to keep you because you're ice. I don't know enough about everybody else that I have with me. Oh, I can see Persona stats. Okay. You I could probably get rid of because I have the stuff. The electric is nice, but I have that through Ryuji, so that's okay. I could probably, okay, so I can probably get rid of, what the fuck are you? Shisa. Oh, I can get rid of you. Because everybody's automatically... Liz isn't here. She's playing D&D. When I catch somebody... Pokemon rules, right? Since I have this guy, he's in my compendium, I don't have to register him back in the room. The registering is just for, like, updating moves they learn if they level up with me, right? Is that correct? Otherwise, I'm planning on doing what Sassy just said and just stalling until James gets here. Just learned a new Exorcist movie. Accidentally used the Inquisition symbol from Dragon Age Inquisition. It's a symbol for the Spanish Inquisition. That's incredible. So if I can get rid of him. I need to keep I don't have any wind with me right now. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, your wind. Oh, your wind. So, but the same question still applies. Do I keep you? It's just thing is when James gets here, I'm also gonna have to go make more tea. I know I need to keep you. I know I need to keep you. I know I need to keep you. You, I could probably get rid of. It's probably this guy. Tea break now while we wait. Yeah, I could do that. If James shows up in the chat, you guys ask him which one I should get rid of. I'll leave it on this screen just in case. I will go tea break right now. I'll be back. I love you all. Thank you. Oh god, what is this on my phone? Hold on. Okay, everything's fine. I will BRB. tea. Oh, yes, tea. Perfect. I think we get rid of the flat. I think we get rid of the long dog, which feels sacrilegious, but... Uh-oh, coughing. Catch up on the chat. I need to refill and clean out some of my fountain pens. Okay, we're getting the Chork story. God, we're not calling it Chork. It's not Chork. If you walk up to somebody who's like, hey, you want some Chork? No one in their right mind is gonna say yes to that. Okay. First store I go to will frequently have a super sale on pork chops. Okay. And they do buy a couple packs and make barbecue shredded pork from it. Awesome. So I did. When I was getting everything ready, I realized we also had some chicken thighs that need to get used up. Oh, it's even like chicken thighs, like also like, that's even like, that's even like a different texture. I don't know what to do with this. Walking potato. Give the potato loves for me. Oh, I have a text. Oh, it's from my mom. James, please. Your little circle isn't even green. So, like, you're not even, like, close. Oh, no. I know when I finally give up and just make a decision, he will immediately join the stream. I will text her that the chat says happy belated Mother's Day. Ta-da. I'm in that weird transitional space post-grad school where I ate every day a total of 2 bagels, some granola bars, and a handful of dreams, so I have no actual food in my house. Dude, before Jeff left for his trip, he did a bunch of meal prep for me, knowing that I had only been eating toast, and the rice porridge that Jackie brought. And God bless him for doing that. So I've had some tikka masala curry with chicken. I've had an amazing stash of blueberries. Oh my God, his little circle screen. He's here. He's gonna be here. It's happening. It's happening. Little mom says hi, she loves you, and thank you. Because yes, you are amazing. James, I need your help.
I'm here to help, and hopefully my mic is live.
It is.
Hey, well, great vegetables, everyone.
I'm like 90%. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's live. I keep using Pokemon terms. Just fucking do that. I caught a new persona, and my inventory's full. So it was like, who do I get rid of? And I don't know who I'm supposed to get rid of. I think it's probably this guy, because I have nuclear through someone else.
Yeah, go ahead, get rid of him. We can always summon him back if we need to use him for one of the twins fusion challenge.
Okay. My follow-up question, because my general thought question that nobody could give me an answer to, and everyone, I was like, I kind of feel like I need to stall for James, and the chat pretty much unanimously agreed we should just stall until you get here. So we've been on the screen for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
But it was a good time for me to go get fresh tea, so because I was out of tea. When I get a new persona, do they automatically get added to my compendium, or do I have to register? Okay, so that's what I thought, but I was like, I don't want to get rid of somebody I just caught. and then find out, no, you actually have to click the register button. I was like, I'm under the impression the register is just to update what abilities they have if they were to level up while you have them in your party.
That is correct. In Persona 5, that is true, but your memory does serve you correctly. In Persona 4, you had to register them even if you just caught them. So it's a 5 first time but they any of the skill thing.
You cut out a whole bunch, but what I gathered was I was correct, and that's the important part.
Actually, I was cutting in and out because I said there was offensive holding, so it's a 10-yard penalty and a repeat of the down. But as you're wont to do. But yeah, how are you feeling, Jen?
Much better than I was. I realized and I think we talked about it a little bit in the post streamness from last week. I realized pretty immediately after last week's stream I should not have streamed, but this is much better. I'm still coughing a whole bunch, so I might have to take another tea break.
Okay.
But overall, I no longer, I feel like I'm regular sick as opposed to considering at what point do I go to the hospital kind of sick. So I call it an improvement.
Yeah, you're in the area of the bell curve that is like normal distribution of sick, but not not in the other distribution of hospitalization.
Exactly.
You would fail the T test.
I did not take any drugs at all today because I was like, I can't tell how much of my fog and inability to function is just because I have been hopped up on drugs for 2 weeks straight and how much is actually the illness. So I didn't take any drugs today, which I feel like has also contributed to feeling better, but God, am I fucking tired. I accidentally took a 4-hour nap.
I think you should put that on a t-shirt. I've decided not to take drugs today.
I like that. Ashley's saying I'm raw dogging life. I used the phrase when I was talking to Jeff at one point about people who aren't wearing masks, and I was like, they're just out here raw dogging the air, and he choked. He was like, I've not heard that before, and I love it.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of good comparisons that you make that you shouldn't raw dog the air, and you shouldn't double mask either, because it doesn't help.
Ooh, is this just money? I got a
stock
stock. Okay. So, no.
Oh, look! I have a stock certificate in the East India Company. Yay!
This feels like an area I probably should find something useful in, but it's not looking like I'm going to. Oh, these look like doors.
Look. Hey, look, it's my office. Just a bunch of empty cubicles that they want me to come back to.
Oh, this is the sparkle I heard. Anyways, James, since we haven't had like a good proper stream in a while, I figured I should open with one of your brainwash vial? What? I should open with one of your favorite kinds of questions.
Oh no. I felt something at the base of my spine and I don't like it.
And chat, I want your opinions on this too. Is the taste of a lemon fast or slow? Oh, there's a person here now.
I'm not equipped to handle that kind of question. You know what? I'm gonna go with because Jen, because you're not feeling well, and I'm gonna convince myself this will make you better through sheer will and miracles. I'm gonna say fast.
Good.
Because. Oh, okay.
No, keep. I want to hear your explanation.
I'm gonna say fast, and this is the only way I can logically do this without breaking my brain, is that when I eat a raw lemon, the expression on my face is so fast to go to puckering that I assume that the lemon is fast.
There you go. See? I think that's a reasonable, logical way to go about that answer. My other favorite thing is that the chat immediately, no hesitation, was all like, oh, fast, very fast for sure. My sister said my favorite, fast and unforgiving.
See, this is kind of weird. Maybe I'm not feeling well, that I understood what Sassy meant by that.
See? There you go.
Yeah, I don't know if you're rubbing off on me or I'm just deteriorating with my advanced age. So I don't know. I don't know, but I don't like it. I don't like how I'm changing. Ashley says we're changing him.
There we go. Just a little bit at a time. You will become one of us. If I technical somebody, do I need to hit them hard, or is that like crit damage? I've had it so rarely, I don't remember.
It will do additional damage and it will knock them down.
Okay.
Or it should knock them down.
And since it's the glowy, weird, floaty one, if I kill them, they explode.
That's correct. See, your mental faculties are all about you.
See, I vaguely remember that part. Let's try to really take them down. Ah, shit, biscuits.
That's all right. It doesn't matter how much damage you use. You gotta get them to 0.
Yeah.
And then they go boom.
Everything's fine. Everything's
Yeah.
super fine.
Here, while you're coughing, I have a fun story, short one. So one of the things that Justin's oldest daughter likes to do, when I take Justin's youngest daughter to school every morning, and Justin's oldest daughter likes to wave at us from the garage as we're backing out, and now she's gotten accustomed to running into the sidewalk, running to the sidewalk, and running down the street after my car, which is very cute and adorable. Except she's very fast, and she, like, you've seen our street. Like, she can make it to just about the end of the street if I'm going like 15 miles an hour. Because by the time I back out and then start driving down the street, she's already halfway down the street.
Jeez.
So we've been doing this for like 2 weeks now, and it's cute and adorable. And just the youngest daughter is yelling out the window, waving to her. However, there have been occasions where people have been walking in our neighborhood, and what they see is a girl running at full speed and me creeping in my car at the same pace as her, with yelling going on between someone in the car.
God.
And I have to make sure to like put down all of the windows, and I'm yelling, "Have a good day," just an oldest daughter. I love you. I hope you have fun at school today. I'll see you after school. Like I need to make 100% clear what's going on, because I had that like little voice in the back of my head of like, oh no, I know what this immediately looks like. And I've seen enough of our like Facebook posts of our neighborhood to know that like the smallest irregularity gets suburban mommed very hard.
Oh yeah.
So apparently, fortunately, no one has called the police on me yet, or if they have, they haven't acted on it, and I haven't gotten a visit from my city's finest. So yeah, there's that going on.
Now's our chance to strike.
Incredible.
The playing
I
field
love
is
it.
even. It's
But also speaking of my children, just the youngest daughter, when I said I was gonna have a meeting with you, she wanted me to tell you a joke.
Okay, I'm
So
listening.
this is the just the youngest daughter original. Jen, knock knock.
Who's there?
Watermelon.
Watermelon who?
Watermelon's on the front porch. Waka waka. Those are her exact words. We got to work on the punchline a little bit, but she's trying, and that's the important part.
I appreciate it. I'll give her an A for effort.
Yeah. Like the delivery cadence is there. It's just the actual words. We gotta work on it a little bit. But yeah, she was very explicit, because she's usually the one who wakes up, and occasionally will be like, "Is Miss Jen still here?" And I'm like, "No, she went back home." She's like, "Oh, okay." So you and Jeff made quite the impression.
Apparently.
the enemy's weak to ice.
Okay, yeah, you're ice, that's right. Then go to me. I keep, because I've been playing so much Zelda, all the buttons are rotated 90 degrees.
I know, it's infuriating, isn't it?
I keep hitting the wrong ones, like, repeatedly.
I think it's just cruel that Nintendo switched X and Y and A and B. It's just very frustrating.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But speaking go ahead.
I was just about to ask, are we talking about Zelda, or are we just kind of hand waving at it?
So, I feel like for a lot of people, because it's so non-linear, even people we know have been playing a whole bunch, we don't know what they've seen. So I think we mostly can't talk about it we can talk about it in generalities. There is one semi-specific thing I had a conversation with Jeff that I need to relay to everyone.
Okay.
So Jeff has not started playing it yet. He has a copy with him while he's traveling, but he had work to do when he was on the plane, and he's been busy, so he's not started it. But he has seen a bunch of memes on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to describe one to me. And this is the part where I will say, if you have not begun the starting area, and you don't want to know any character names that are in the game, this is a time to earmuff. But that's as specific as I'm going to get right now, and then like a kind of a basic physical description. And I will un-earmuff, the visual will be un-earmuffing for anybody who feels like they need to earmuff right now. Jeff says he sees a meme with a character that is, quote, looks like a hammerhead shark owl lady, kind of like Garchomp from Pokemon, but with wings. That's how he described Rauru.
Nice. Like, at first I thought I'm thinking like, oh, that sounds like Sidon. But, no.
That's what I thought too, but I was like, he played original Breath of the Wild, he knows who Sidon is. And then he kept talking, and I was like, oh my god, he's talking about Rauru. This is my favorite fucking description.
I mean, this is courtesy of who described the trumpeter persona as the pigeon flute.
Yes.
Pigeon flute man, and yeah.
Anyway, so I'm gonna un-earmuff now, so we're gonna go back to just generalities. But yeah.
Here's my two generalities from the game. I had a lot of trouble building boats. Because they would blow away before I could get on them. Very frustrating. And then Jamf, with the infinite wisdom of 1,000 mothers, said, well, why don't you just get on the boat and then put the sail on? And I just kind of looked down at my knees. I'm like, you're right. That's a really good idea.
Here's the other idea. I've literally never built a boat with a sail.
There you go. You could do. See, there's so many different ways to play the game.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't feel like I'm gonna have enough control with the sail, so I just don't use a sail.
Mm-hmm.
Hello,
Yeah,
doggy.
Show me your
Goodbye,
true
doggy.
Goodbye,
I just
puppy.
ripped that dog's face off.
No, he's just wearing a mask. It's fine.
Oh, that's right.
He was having a hard
That
time.
was crazy.
God, what level am I? Is there a good way to tell what level I am? I don't think I can.
Don't do anything.
No, but you could. I think you could see what level your persona are when you summon them.
Okay.
Just watch your ammo. The opponent is strong. It's powerful.
Okay,
The
so
gun
yeah,
should
you're
shut it
okay.
down. Just watch your ammo.
Oh, that's right. I can shoot you.
You can. Yeah, you can pew pew pew.
Shut it down.
Yeah,
Oh.
usually flying creatures you can pew 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 them and.
No, fucking thank you.
You gotta hit them.
Thank you for being specific. That's what happens. You weren't specific in your
Yeah, I
initial
know.
instruction. Use the gun.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, warning shots don't help. But yeah. No, the other generality from Tears of the Kingdom, and I won't get into specifics, but apparently my ADD when it comes to following little markers like, oh, this looks interesting, it has always resulted in me finding armor, like unexpected armor, like, oh, like this seems like an interesting little thing. It's like, okay, this is turning into a thing. I think I'm doing a quest, and oh, this is very neat armor. And then I'll bring it up in Discord, and everyone else is like, no, I have not found that yet. What is this? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I did.
Yeah, I have found neither of the things that you have mentioned. I did pull at you and did find accidental armor after what was the longest fucking thread. I was like, I'm committed now. I'm going down this whole line of things that I have found. And I was like, there's got to be something good at the end of it. And it like culminated in this insane, intense fight. And then I got pants. And not even like super good pants. They're like an alternative to like the Sheikah pants. So like they have a minor stealth boon. That's it. I was so upset. again, speaking in generalities, I don't want to say anything more than that. If anybody else wants to know what thread disappointingly ends in pants, I am happy to give you a vague instruction as to, like, if you go here, it's gonna make you do a whole bunch of insane shit, and you just get, I will tell you where not to bother, but I won't tell you what it is.
Yeah.
But it was insane.
Yeah. I like how I maybe the way that they've designed enemies with like the bokoblins have different horns and different colored horns and numerous horns that kind of indicate like in the how tough they are. It's just a little boring. I regret. These are,
You're cutting out a whole bunch.
you know, it's Waka Waka. It's the internet doesn't want me to accidentally spoil anything, but I just will say, like, I was exploring a little bit. I'm like, oh, let me see what this area looks like, because, you know, I've played through Breath of the Wild so many times. It's like, oh, let me just see this area. And it's like, oh, all of these bokoblins have 3 horns that are gold, and they broke my shield in 1 hit. Okay, I have gone too far, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I liked, because I feel like Breath of the Wild did that too, that kind of had, like, you kind of knew that certain colors were bad news, so you could stay away from a distance. And then they've added what I will simply call a new color, and those are always bad. I got wrecked by a Phasic Bokoblin very quickly by the brand new variety, is how I will call that. And then I ran into a Hinox of that variety. Fuck that noise.
Oh yeah, those guys don't mess around.
No, absolutely fucking nuts.
You know what has been particularly infuriating to me is that before Tears of the Kingdom, I have probably played like 120 hours of Elden Ring and have gotten to a point where I would say I'm passable in the game. Dodging, parrying, blocking in that game. You know, like, I think you've played a Souls game before. So then I come to Tears of the Kingdom, I'm like, oh, don't worry, I got this whole parrying and like perfect dodging thing down. I most certainly do not.
Oh yeah, I've only done it on accident. The shrines that require you to do it, fuck those.
Yeah. Those skills did not translate well. Maybe it's because the controller rotated 90 degrees and the buttons are different.
Maybe. Yeah, I've had a terrible time with some of those things. I feel like the timing on them has gotten tighter. Alright, so I am level 20, clearly. Because that level 21 was too high for me to try to get.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'm not going to say the name of the monster out loud in case anybody's not looking at the chat, and I don't want to spoil anything, but yes, Sassy, that also fucking threw me for a loop. I have managed to avoid them, but I did make eye contact with it, and I went, oh no. So there's that. I think I complained about it in Breath of the Wild, so it's not a surprise, but I appreciate that there's a quest log where you can see the things that you've kind of, like, the threads that you've picked up. But I hate that there's so many, and I feel like there's even more now than there was before, and also not everything spawns an entry in the quest log. There are so many conversations I've had where somebody's like, oh, blah, 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 this is over here, and, like, the text is red, and is, like clearly indicating you should go over there. But it's not related to any quest you have ongoing, and it doesn't spawn a little quest marker thing, so you just kind of, now I'm, like, having to also keep other notes. And it's driving me fucking insane. Never mind the fact that I also currently, not kidding, have 40 quests going in my book right now, in the actual log right now. 40. I've been to 2 regions. That's too much. It's too many.
I believe it. I 100% believe it. Do you feel like the reason that you have 40 quests in the first 2 regions is that Nintendo deliberately front-loaded the beginning experience of the game with the idea that a percentage of people aren't going to make it to the end, so they're going to put all of their time and effort at the beginning of the game where most people are going to see it?
No, because there is no clear beginning. That's the problem. I think it's evenly spread between every region. I think all of them have like 30 things in it because they don't know which region you're going to go to first. So there is no front-loading, quote-unquote, the beginning, because like the game strongly suggests which place you should go to first, and then after that, it's a free-for-all.
I don't know, the place that I went where I was seeing the 3-horned golden bokoblins, I had a very bad time. I'm like, I don't belong here.
I would love to know what region that was in, but we can talk about after stream, so we don't spoil anything for anybody. But, what do I need to fuck? Your ice.
You know what I miss most from Breath of the Wild, though? And I don't think this is too much of a spoiler, so I'm gonna take the chance. Chat, you can yell at me later. I miss using my Sheikah bomb fishing method.
Yeah. I did see... see, I can't get you yet, so we're just gonna murder you. I wanted to keep you, but you said no.
Can we make that a shirt, too?
Aw, damn it. Well, this is a minor problem. Can you just hit him? Just, oh god, no, that button, Jesus. Thank you. Ha, 69.
Yeah, 69.
I don't know if that's... The creativity that some people have had in this game is insane.
Let's go, Joker.
And
I saw someone... I'm sorry, go on.
I would say, the cheats that some people have come up with to, like, essentially end up with infinite versions of things that should be limited is also insane.
I'm sorry to interrupt. You should probably heal up.
Yeah, I was hoping that room was a safe room, and so that's why I was, like, trying that, and I was looking around to see, like, is there a safe room so I can use some of the other shit? So, and the answer to that is no, so...
Pro gamer tip, since Morgana's on the sideline, use up his SP to heal people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all he's good for now that you have Makoto. I mean, now that you have Gwen in the party, that's all you need.
Yeah. I like that her Power Ranger color is purple. I was like, of course it's purple.
Yeah. Of course it is. They knew who you are. Yeah, no, I absolutely adore the videos I see on Twitter of what people have built just within a week of the game being out, and I'm so excited to see, like, a month from now what people have figured out, like Rube Goldberg machine things they will have built, and just the sheer beauty of it.
I like that people on the internet are people on the internet, and have you seen what the alternate name for Tears of the Kingdom is? For the abbreviation TOTK?
I have not.
Torment of the Koroks?
Yes.
Yeah. I think the Koroks are so much more irritating in this game than they were in Breath of the Wild.
I would agree.
And so I feel like they deserve it, but also, like, hot damn. People are people.
Yeah, we're gonna start with the Hyrule Space Program and just start putting Koroks on the top of a rocket and letting them go.
And that's and that's the tame end of it.
Yeah, we've turned Tears of the Kingdom into Kerbal Space Program.
All right.
I saw someone literally build a 2-stage rocket.
That was an easy battle.
That's awesome.
I was like, I don't know. Here's the thing, is when people are like, oh my god, this game is so great because, like, the only limit is your creativity. And I was like, yeah, and I am not a creative motherfucker. I didn't come here for the Industrial Revolution. I came here for swords and magic. Stop it. Hello.
The thing I find when you speak of the Industrial Revolution prior to Tears of the Kingdom, everything that was in Breath of the Wild about the Zonai made you think that it was like a primitive culture. Like even the barbarian armor was, like this is Zonai armor, and like the Zonai runes are all this unmortared stone stacked on each other. And you're like, huh, okay, like primitive tribe, we don't know what happened to them. And then like Tears of the Kingdom comes along, it's like, we've built devices that will just float permanently in the sky, and we have all of this like gravity and time magic, and you can turn into water and go through, ledges. Like, huh, kind of a rewrite from Breath of the Wild, but I'm here for it.
I mean, First of all, I don't remember them being mentioned at all in Breath of the Wild.
They were mentioned in landmarks, so like if you were going to East Hyrule, you were going through a lot of Zonai ruins, like where the jungles were, and they would say like all of the old ruins were like Zonai design, like had their symbol on it, and a lot of the architecture could be associated with them.
If you say so.
Okay. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
There have been, like, a lot of... And again, I want to be careful. I don't want to get... I feel like we're tiptoeing into dangerous territory for somebody like Ashley has specifically been like, I will yeet anyone off this planet who talks about anything specific from Zelda.
Okay,
and
sorry, Ashley.
I feel like we're starting to get into that dangerous territory. I appreciate there were a number of references, especially in the beginning like the parts where it's scripted that this is the beginning. Like, I know I made the comment earlier about like there is no big front loading in the game because it lets you do whatever you want to do, but there is like an initial beginning where you're on the rails to get the story going, much like how Breath of the Wild started, where it's like, here's a beginning area, do these things, all right, now go. In that beginning area, segment of the game, there were things where I'm like, that's some Skyward Sword shit. That is some Twilight Princess shit. And I was like, I appreciate that there's these very clear references to places, to events, to items, to these things. Like, I appreciate that there are things you can pick up on like that, for sure.
Like random humming. Have you... No? Okay.
What?
Have you heard the random humming during cooking?
Yeah, I posted in the Discord that I did finally do some cooking, and at the very least, I was like, oh, that's definitely Epona's song. Some of the songs I can't, like, it's clearly the same notes, but he's putting a different cadence to them, so I'm like, I'm not sure what all of them are, because I was like, this is just close enough that I know I'm supposed to know it, but I'm like, I can't find the right cadence for it. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, this takes place in the far future of the Zelda timeline, so I'm sure those songs have gone through a little, changes over time as it's been handed down through oral tradition and.
Goodness gracious.
Wait, here. You know what? I have another story on my post-it note, so I will save you from coughing fits. Jamf and I went to a very fun birthday party on Saturday. So one of our very good friends, he was turning 35, and he wanted he hosted everyone at his house, but he wanted people to dress up as characters from movies that were released in the year that he was born, so 1988. So we're like, yeah, that's a great idea for a party. So we looked up what movies came out in 1988, and apparently it was a winning year. Die Hard, Beetlejuice, The Land Before Time, Rambo 3, I think there's a few others, but those are the ones that come to top of mind. So I went as Bruce Willis from Die Hard, because how easy of a costume is it to wear a tank top and gray pants?
Perfect.
And it's comfortable.
James, where do I go?
Go back up to that locked room that you thought was a safe room. There's another way in if you have a keen eye.
Okay.
But yeah, so I went as John McClane because super comfy and easy costume to throw together, and I wanted Jamf to go as Nakatomi Plaza because I thought that'd be funny, but she didn't want to put the effort in, and she wore her inflatable T-Rex costume to be Land Before Time.
I like that you said her inflatable T-Rex costume, like Like, that's a normal thing for everyone to just own. I love that she has one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you won't let me do anything with you. And that's not a thing. And that's not a thing.
Try the other.
I'm checking both sides. I needed to find the room, and now it's like, okay, we'll pick one side or the other. Sure, I guess, can I climb shit? You let me climb shit? Which buttons let me do to get up? Thank you.
Yay! Go Power Rangers. Banana, yeah, I did. I full on walked around barefoot too. No, I did not put broken glass in my feet though, but I did walk around barefoot.
I'll reveal your true form.
But yeah, very comfy, very fun party. But at this party, our friend whose birthday it was, his wife is from Pittsburgh, and the fun fact about it is that she grew up about 20 minutes from where I grew up. When we lived,
Robot James.
I'm a robot.
Look, Vara Blast.
Ooh, I love that Mountain Dew flavor.
Prepare yourself.
Ooh, technical. So anyway, his wife grew up about 20 minutes from where I grew up in Pittsburgh. We didn't know each other when we lived in Pittsburgh, but we had met in Nashville and became good friends. So she's a cackler. She loves to laugh, and it's a very loud laugh. So one of the people at the party came up to me in a very quiet tone. She's like, "Hi," and I'm like, "Hi, it's nice to see you." She's like, "Hey, you're from Pittsburgh, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "You grew up near Jessica?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And she goes, "I don't want this to sound rude, but I've only met 2 people from Pittsburgh, but are all Pittsburghers loud?" And I was like, "Huh." Like, at first I was like, is that a thing? And like, okay, my friend does cackle loudly, and I do talk loudly because of the theater background. I just naturally project my voice if I'm not focusing on it. So I'm like, I don't think it's a thing. I think it's just your sample size. But yeah, that's a really weird coincidence. And I gave her the finger guns. And it's Borger.
Oh, yeah, maps.
Yay, maps.
I like how we're still shocked we only keep finding partial maps.
I know.
Like, we've not used our 2 brain cells to figure out that will always be the case.
You know, I don't know if it's just villains in this game, but, like, when I picture a map of a place in my head, it's a complete map. It's not, like, segmented, you know?
I mean, I figure, like, if I was an evil villain, I would just plan on not having a map for this exact reason. But if I was gonna have a map because my henchmen are too stupid to figure out where to go places, I would break it up like this for this reason.
But you're not a villain though. You're the hero. You're the protagonist, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. I'm the protagonist. Hey, you should vamp and tell more stories since I can hear them while I go do a 3rd round of tea.
Okay. Third round of tea. Hey, chat. I have a question for you. When you were little and you lost a tooth and you put it under your pillow, how much did the Tooth Fairy bring you on average per tooth? Because we ran into this issue with Justin Oldest Daughter of trying to determine what the Tooth Fairy should bring, and because we had to contact the Tooth Fairy and set it all up. And I'm deliberately talking like this because certain individuals may or may not be asleep yet. Yeah. So a quarter, 50 cents, about 50 cents, $5 on the last one. Okay. For bigger teeth, I got $1. So you're like your molars? Ashley's a numismaticist and loves coins. Yeah. So yeah, and that's kind of what Jamf and I remember as well. So we're like, okay, well, I mean, that was when, we were younger. So, like, we're trying to figure out, like, what is there inflation? Does the Tooth Fairy, adjust for inflation because that's what a good economist would do. So we texted some of our friends who have kids in the same school as Justin's oldest daughter. And chat, let me tell you, there were some ridiculous parents at my daughter's school. A lot of them were saying that it was very common that kids would get $20 for a first tooth, maybe 10 on a regular basis, and both Jant's jaw and my jaw hit the ground, and fortunately it didn't fall fast enough to knock all of our teeth out so that we could use that money. But yeah, like $20, and the tooth fairy is like, I don't know if there's like a tooth shortage and supply and demand, and it's got to cover, but that's some serious inflation there, and we're trying to the tooth fairy, like, we wanted to make sure the tooth fairy was very on average, so that conversations wouldn't happen at the cafeteria and on the playground. So the tooth fairy brought Justin's oldest daughter $10 for her first tooth, and of course afterwards, the next morning, Justin's oldest daughter comes running into our room. She's like, the tooth fairy came, and we're still half asleep. And we're like, oh, that's great. What did the tooth fairy bring you? Tooth fairy brought me $1. And Jeff and I look at each other like, just $1? You sure there's not like a zero in there? Like, no, $1. Like, all this sweating and, trying to figure all of this out, and doesn't even read the bill correctly. So, yeah, be that a lesson to all of you that, if you try, it's just sometimes the intended outcomes never come to pass. Carl, the tooth fairy needs to start an OnlyFans. You know what? I'm afraid to Google it. I am afraid to Google it. Joe's going to provide hammer and tequila. Sounds great. Actually, my grandpa once gave my uncle $60 for a tooth. Was it his last one?
I have several questions. First of all, I do like the idea that you just essentially got free permission to only give her $1 going forward, because she doesn't know the difference.
Yes.
The only, the other thing that is bothering me is I'm bad with children's ages. I can't look at a child and be like, oh, that's a 4-year-old versus a 7-year-old. I can't do it. You
don't have an eye for cattle?
No. And so it's I also don't have a good, what is the word I want? Reference. I don't know, does a child of that age, understand, the idea of, a child of that age having 10 whole ass dollars or 20 whole ass dollars, that sounds like infinite money to me for a child of that age. And then the idea of how many fucking teeth do you have as a child? I know you end up with more as an adult. How many teeth does a kid have?
I think 32, 16 bottom, because 8 on each side. That sounds about right. You have your incisors, your front teeth, your incisors, your molars.
Ashley, that's bones. You have 206 or whatever bones, not teeth.
Oh Lord.
Or you have a shark for a child. So apparently a child, allegedly, he says Banana Boy has 20. So that's $400 for your tiny bones falling out of your skull at $20 a tooth. That's insane. Even if you do just 10, that's $200. What is a child of her age gonna do with $200 fucking dollars?
They are going to treat their parents to a spa day.
Oh God, there we go. That's insane to me. And then all these other parents are like, yeah, we do this, and it's that's insane. And then now I also want to know if their children recognize the difference between $10 and $1. If they're like, yeah, we did $10, but their kid thinks it was $1, and that's what they're telling everybody at school. Would be very funny.
Yeah, like, fortunately, I don't think that the stories have made it because I haven't seen side eyes from the parents of like, oh, you only gave your child $1. I'm like, no, we didn't. No, the Tooth Fairy absolutely brought a 10.
I am realizing, since I know Sassy brought up the for bigger teeth I got $1. I don't remember that happening for me, but I also, that was so many years ago. Maybe it did. I have no idea. But I do like the idea of like bigger teeth netting more. And it's like, I didn't get a visit from the Tooth Fairy after my wisdom teeth came out, and I feel like because that one required surgery, the bitch should have ponied up a little bit.
Help cover the cost of the surgery.
Right? I mean, I guess it's kind of what happened, but...
Yeah. I distinctly remember when I lost my last, I think it was like my second to last or either my last tooth. I knew full well the truth of the situation, and again, deliberately being vague because I don't know who's awake or not right now.
Yeah, no
and
fair.
Apparently, all Pittsburghers are loud. Apparently, so I went to my dad when he was home. My mom wasn't home yet from work, and I'm like, "Hey, Dad, look, I lost a tooth." He goes, "Oh, yeah, look at that." I'm like, "Hey, Dad, let me just make this easy on you. Why don't you give me the cash? I'll give you the tooth, and then the next morning I'll tell Mom that the Tooth Fairy came one last time, so you don't have to worry about it in the middle of the night." And that was a transaction that happened at the ripe young age of something.
Incredible.
Because here's the thing: kids get older, their heads get heavier, and let me tell you, that Tooth Fairy better not skip arm day to lift that head up and the pillow without waking them up.
Oh my god, incredible! I do appreciate the villain was not too scared to do it, and to no one's surprise, there is a Tooth Fairy OnlyFans. So, I imagine the photos for that are border on the horror genre very quickly.
Yeah, I'm sure. Kind of like like the horror vibes of the mimic shoe with teeth and
When we were talking, the other thought I had when I was in the kitchen, I'm so proud of myself for remembering this. We were talking about like how much money parents give kids for teeth losing. The whole chat, but James gets to actually like actively talk about it because you're here in a call.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? Were you among the people, because I knew a whole bunch of people when I was in school who their parents would give them, like, would essentially pay them, or like you could call it a bump to their allowance or whatever, every term when they got grades, and if they got all A's, they would like give them money for, I knew a lot of people was like, oh, they would get like X amount of money for every A, and then like a half of that if they got a B. And then if they got a C, then nothing. I was like, okay, well, you did average, so you get nothing extra, but you did extra, so you get extra. I knew a ton of people like that. I was not in that camp at all. But I'm just curious if anybody else in the chat, like, had that experience.
Yes.
Yeah?
So I got I don't remember what it was. I think it was just like $1, like some little spending money for every A. B's were nothing, and C's were deductions. I had to pay for these.
Oh, wow.
I've never gotten a D, and I'm to this day afraid of what a D would have been.
Oh, yeah. In my house, it was, at least for me, I don't know if Sassy had to deal with this. My parents were on team, we know you're perfectly capable of getting an A, so that is the expectation. And so if I got anything, even like in the progress reports, if I started slipping and I was like, oh, it's at an A-, it's like, you're on a downward trend. I was like, that was me being grounded. I didn't get any benefit, bonus, accolades, whatever for getting A's, but if I got anything less than that, it was different degrees of being grounded. I don't recommend that method to anybody out there who is in the parenting world, because what you end up instilling in your child is a complete fear of not just failure, but a fear of imperfection. So when they take a really, really hard class, like organic chemistry, and no matter what they do, they are just not getting it, they will have a complete mental breakdown. And so then when you turn around and say, no, you tried your best, it's fine, that will not compute, and then it will have a whole new kind of breakdown that will require therapy.
Yeah. I'm, now that I'm reflecting on my childhood and my high school years, I'm quickly learning that I was destined to be an economist, regardless of my despite my meteorology interest, because like specifically in high school, like I don't know how your high school graded like AP courses or college and high school courses, but they were on like a 6.0 scale. So like if we got an A in a college level course in high school, we would get a 6.0 out of 4 for that class. So like it would bump up our entire GPA on average if we did really well in a college level course. Now it's obviously, AP classes are nothing to sneeze at, but I 100% broke my parents' reward logic because they're like, oh, we'll give you something for an A, nothing for a B, and C's are deductions. So I'm coming in like AP European history. I got I got straight A's in that, so I got a 6.0 GPA specifically for that class that really bumped up my GPA. So I logically I got like an A plus. With my GPA,
it's Robot James.
Daisy.
Perfect.
Look, my GPA this quarter is 4.125. I have more than a 4.0, so I think I should, I should be compensated for that extra effort that I put in. And I could tell my parents were like, now that I'm a parent, we're having that moment of, oh no, like, do we want to like instill a good lesson or do we want to be cheap? And now I appreciate the pain that I've put them in, because like, I'm experiencing it now with my children, because I want them to be, strong, fiercely independent, not take shit from anyone, kind of women when they grow up. But that also means that they don't listen to me, and I'm like, I appreciate what you're doing right now. It would just be a lot easier if, like, in this one instance, you could listen to me.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, if you instill all the right values in them, what's going to happen is they will eventually be able to use that against you. And so you have to be, it's like, I don't want to say you have to be careful, you just have to, I guess, know that's coming.
Yeah, I just have to accept it.
Yeah, to go back to what Carl was saying, it's like, what's with parents punishing you for getting C's? C is average. I agree. And even like what a C is in the US is still like a high B in like plenty of other countries or whatever, or like it's in some places even an A. Like, even like C being average, C is still even above average. Like for every school I went to, like a C stopped at a 75%, and below that you were at a D. And it's like, that's already more than half. That's already above average. Fuck you. Anyways, yeah. I did not have a good time we're gonna get real for a second, and I'm gonna say the things I'm gonna say, and I'm not elaborating. Because I don't want to super get into it, but 7th grade got really bad because I was bullied like a whole lot, like in all of elementary and middle school, for a variety of reasons. And it got really bad in 7th grade, and all of my bullies were all together with me in one particular class. And because of how everything happened in that class, my grade in that class fucking tanked. So I have been a straight A student since letter grades were a thing. And then suddenly in 7th grade, all of my classes I'm still getting A's, but in one class I'm getting a C. And 2, I feel like anybody else, I love Low Mom. I just need to say that right now. I love Low Mom, but this is not a great parenting moment. I feel like to anybody else, you would recognize there's something happening here. And instead what happened was I got grounded for like 2 solid months. So any of the things that did bring me joy were all gone. And I couldn't get that grade up. And it was a bad time. It was a bad time. So hey, if somebody is your like straight, like if there's a sudden change in behavior and it's also focused in one specific place, maybe dig into that. Maybe dig into that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry you went.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you went through that. It's something that I'm trying to be actively aware of. Like anytime I would like, my first reaction is like, this is what my parents would have done in this situation. Now that I'm a parent, I quickly check myself of like, is that good though? Like, is that like just because? Yeah, it's tough. And like, I don't know if this is Banana's way of leading into that. I don't gaslight my children. It's easy, but I feel like it's my responsibility to own up if I was wrong about something, because both of my kids are very observant. They're more observant than they let on, and I want to encourage and reward their thoughtfulness if they notice an inconsistency, versus me just trying to save face, because at the end of the day they're my children. Like I don't need to save face in front of them. I can admit when I'm wrong, and if they call me out on it, they call me out on it. So no, I am very consciously very careful about not doing anything that could be remotely close to gaslighting.
Yeah, shit.
Indeed.
Oh, I forgot that this dude looked like this. Oh, Jesus.
Well, I think it's it's very symbolic because Makoto is wearing purple like Gwen, and the villain is also purple. So you know that they are antitheses to each other. I think I just made up a word, but that's okay. Language evolves.
Exactly. All words are made up.
That's true. Yeah, Carl, be better than your parents. I think that's the important. That's the important lesson to take. I think there can be
a safe room
good
around here.
things that you can take away from your parents, and there can be things you think, you know what?
Oh, a
I
new
think I can
safe
do
room.
better.
Yeah, safe room.
Disco cat.
How's everybody doing? Oh. Well, yeah, let's, I could use items in here, but I can just keep using your shit. Actually, let's try to be logical about that. Ah! Liz, thank you for 30 months.
Before the stream, Liz sent me a link to Atlas's website, because their merch store has a bunch of keychains of all of the what I thought were
Shit, that's not the B button. God damn it. Well, okay.
It happens. It's okay. It's just 12 SP. It's fine.
It's okay.
He'll come back. So Liz sent me a link to Atlas's website, and they have all of. At first, I thought they just had all of these wonderful Persona 5 keychains. I'm like, oh, these look really cool. And I kept scrolling down, and then they had Persona 4 keychains. I'm like, oh, it has all of the best characters, and we all know who they are, and Sam Riegel.
And Sam Riegel. Guys, we did it. I saved 69 hours. Perfect.
Nice.
I
think we
ahead.
could just call it we could just call it a game. Like, we don't need to finish the game, even though we're only at level 20. We're 70 hours in and only level 20.
Which is so painful. Also, I do need to point out my second save file is still 420, so I have 69 420 on my screen right now. It's perfect.
Take a little screenshot of that. That should be the background for chat time.
There we go. When I made my new tea, I grabbed a bigger mug so I wouldn't have to go refresh it, but I didn't want to wait the whole steeping time before I came back up here, so I just brought it up with me, and I was like, I won't put the ginger syrup in this time, so I can just not wait for the steeping and then add that in. I'm sipping this, and it's still good, but I'm like, fuck, I wish it had the syrup in it right now.
Oh.
Okay.
If you want to go get the syrup, I can vamp some more.
No, because I'm also it's 9 o'clock, and I feel like a smart Jen would kill the stream soon-ish, so I don't want to take another break and then be like, cool, we're gonna play for 10 more minutes, and then kill it. So I'll be okay. I'll refresh it again when we're done here, and I'll put the syrup in it at that point, and it'll be great.
I just want you to know that your sacrifice hasn't gone unnoticed and is very much appreciated.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you appreciating it. Anyways.
Banana, I have no idea. I don't even know if those are words.
They're not. Okay, just based on feel, which I know you hate, but just go with it before anybody elaborates on what that question means. Knowing that both of those words will refer to the same thing, which word do you prefer? Chork or pickin'? Thank you.
Pickin'.
That's correct. Chork is just that. If somebody offered you, now if I tell you this is food, if someone offered you chork, would you take it?
No, I would. If it's food, I'm assuming that's chicken and pork mixed together.
That is correct. Banana came in hot today with, hey, if you had to, what would you call a combination of chicken and pork?
Okay, I've cracked the code.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if someone actually offered that to me, I'm not a violent person by nature. I might punch them in the throat.
I can feel it.
So that banana, believe it or not, that's actually a terrible segue into something that I wanted to discuss, and I put it on my little Post-it note.
Okay. We're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna actually, because I'm afraid if I wait any longer, I will not have enough memory for it. We're gonna talk about my awful time trying to come home from Nashville, and then we will call the stream after that.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a Nashville story. So one of the things that Jamf and I are very passionate about, we love stand-up comedy. Like we try to go to see some of our favorite comedians if they come through town, and even before I was married to her, I would go see stand-up shows all the time. And one of the we went to see 2 shows in the last month or so. It was David Spade and Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah, amazing. David Spade, not as much as Trevor Noah, but David Spade has a special place in Jam's heart because she's a big Saturday Night Live junkie and all that. Well, anyway, we go to dinner right before one of the shows, and it's a tapas place, and we love tapas. We love having just like a sampling of a bunch of different things, and like the pace is perfect. And there's a very young couple sitting next to us who are clearly on a like internet date. They met through an app date, and we're occasionally picking up bits of the conversation, but we're honestly just too excited to go see the show and with our food to pay attention. But near the end of the night, they were getting ready to leave, and the guy says, and these are the exact words, "You want this."
Oh no.
Now, Jen, if I, as I'm telling you this story, what is your mental image of this person who would have the gall to say on like a first or second date, you want this, with that kind of inflection? Because I could hear it as clear as day because it was right next to my ear.
He is either straight up frat boy Chad looking kind of dude, or he is a somehow both lanky and mildly overweight, a little bit sweaty dude with maybe hair gel, or it might just be he needs a shower. You can't tell. It's styled well, but it's being held by a mystery substance.
Yeah. So, I heard that in my ear, and I'm thinking like gym, like a gym guy, who's wearing a shirt that's a little too tight for him, and it's like his muscles
Triangle
are dancing.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, Triangle Man. No. I want you to picture young Republican with blazer and square glasses, pencil thin, and that's the guy. That's the kind of guy we're talking about. And he says that, and the poor girl doesn't have time to react because there are snorting laughs from my table when we heard that.
Incredible.
And I think in that moment it saved her a reaction because now she's reacting to us and not reacting to him, so it's not as awkward for her. So I'd like to think we did her a solid that evening. And we became the bad guys for her for whatever she decided to do, but the look in her eyes was not of oh, he's playing hard to get or something like that. It was very ugh, that was weird. I wouldn't have said that.
I knew it wasn't going to be the case because then it wouldn't have been story worthy, but I was really hoping he was pointing at something on the menu.
No, unless he was pointing to a very specific sausage that I couldn't see.
Gross.
Yeah. I mean, you had to elaborate, and I can't let a spike stay up there just waiting for it.
Hello.
already know this, but inflicting status ailments on our enemies is a very useful tactic.
When no one likes unsolicited battle advice.
I especially
Jen,
recommend it.
I was literally about to say that almost verbatim.
Perfect.
I am turning into you guys. It's finally happened. I'm assimilating.
Okay, I hate to be that person, but this is very distracting. Makoto's boobs should not be moving around that much in her idle animation. That's not how that body part functions.
I think it's the I have noticed, because I've played this game 4 times, that I think certain costumes it's much more accentuated, because there are other costumes where there's nothing, like absolutely nothing, because it some of these are just like very distractingly noticeable.
Anyways,
there's a character who's were met them.
meet more robot.
It wasn't funny anyway. But yeah, so we
A thing just popped up on the screen for literally half a second. No one can read like that quickly. Anyways.
Out of our way!
It said something that seemed to indicate I was gonna inflict the status thing, but then I didn't, so I don't fucking know. Okay, well that one happened. But it said 2 things at the top of the screen, and the first one was the same one that I saw for half a second, and it was somehow on the screen for less before it said inflicted with burn.
Cool. I saw exactly what it is, because I get to watch it. I get to watch it on a delay 10 seconds later after I see it on your screen.
Perfect.
So Makoto has a special ability where I believe if she is in your active party, the likelihood of another party member inflicting like burn or freeze or shock increases, and it's her like special ability. And what was popping up is Makoto uses her passive ability, but then it's overtaken by
Got it.
like on his inflicted burn.
Got it. Okay, cool. This person's on fire, so I want to use wind?
I believe either wind or nuclear. I can say it right.
Okay. It would say technical if that was the right one, right?
That is correct. So
Okay.
I think it is nuclear.
Where's my stronger nuclear person? Where did you go? Okay, I thought I had somebody else that has things.
Didn't you get rid of him?
I thought
Your
I
little
had
puppy?
somebody. I thought I had somebody who nuked all, but maybe I'm thinking of Makoto's stuff.
Makoto can nuke all.
Yeah, I know she can. I just thought I also did, but that's
The shape nuclear blast around enemies is a Gwen only thing. So
hell
far.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we had an obnoxious guy on Tinder date, and then we went to we went to specifically David Spade, and the crowd at the show. I think half of them were destined to be disappointed, because half of them went thinking they were going to get Joe Dirt, and they got California comedian David Spade. So a lot of people were like, "Oh, Joe Dirt, woo!" And like, "Oh, he's talking about political humor." They're like, "Oh, that's not what we came here for." And like,
Perfect.
what did you think? Anyway, the most obnoxious type of people who could go to a comedy show were sitting next to us. They were also very drunk, but again, I've been to a lot of comedy shows, and there have been hecklers who are bad hecklers, funny hecklers. There are people who've talked. There are people who don't laugh or boo.
Shadow.
No,
Careful.
not the worst type of people to go to a comedy show. The people sitting right next to us who were drunk were the type of people who would loudly say the joke back to the person sitting next to them and then laugh.
Oh god.
So like Spade had a joke about like he was filming something in South America, and he was complaining because he thought he saw like a large cat go up into his room, and the owner's like, oh, that might be a jaguar, and he was going, excuse me, did you say jaguar? And then the guy right next to us would go, jaguar.
Oh, no.
Like the entire show was just repeating verbatim what he said and then laughing at the end of it. And like again, you know my wife is a sweet and lovely person. It was raining that night, and she was gripping an umbrella, like praying to God to give her the strength not to club this man sitting next to her repeatedly. But eventually they left, like halfway through the show.
Oh
and
my God, really?
I've never been so excited in my life to see someone leave a comedy show. I know, I get choked up thinking about it too.
Everything's fine. Oh God, I already forgot what Morgana said to do about this dude. You're
he's timid.
That one. Fuck yes.
Nice music notes.
I accidentally stumbled my way through so many music notes before you got here. It was insane.
I believe it. You have that uncanny luck.
That one. Yeah!
Way to go. I am Val. I am Slime.
Anyways. You want to hear the... Oh, I gotta fucking get rid of somebody first. Hold on, we gotta do this.
Let's see what Black Ooze gives you. So he's a... Ooh, he's strong to physical. That's a good tank. He just does physical attacks. Okay, so... Huh. Alright, let's see who you have.
I mean, I get the feeling I don't really, like, need him. I just want to get him into the party so he's in my compendium. And then, fuck it, he can be the first one to go later.
So you need him...
I need this one. I would like to keep you. You
probably get rid of him. Yeah, I think you have wind already.
Yeah, I mean, I've got wind everybody there, so so probably you. I want to keep 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 you.
You might be able to get rid of him because you have fire all already.
Let's get rid of this one.
Okay, bye, horsey.
Your power's incredible, Joker.
All right.
I never get tired of hearing the super Sentai theme at the end. Anyway, yeah, tell your story of how you escaped Nashville and why didn't you didn't want to stay at our house.
Oh my God, it's not that I didn't want to, and if we had known the day was gonna turn into what it had, we would have just moved our flight to Monday morning and come to stay with you guys. But we had been assured it was gonna be fine, and we're like, well, like we are committed at this point. So we our flight is listed as like it's gonna be I think it was supposed to leave at 5 initially, and we were supposed to go from Nashville to Atlanta. We had an hour and 20-minute layover in Atlanta, and then it was from Atlanta to Austin. So our flight is supposed to leave at 5, and it's only like a 40-minute flight. Easy peasy, nice and short. And so we go to the Nashville airport a little bit on the early side, just because we don't know what that airport situation is. So we're like, do we need, like, how quick is your security and like all of that other stuff? Because like we know the Austin one very well, so like we know down to like which days on which times of days, like how long we need, we would need to get through stuff. We're like, let's go a little bit on the early side just in case. And we got through pretty quickly. We're like, all right, that's not great, but so we have some extra time to kill, but that's fine. It gives us time to like, we were purposely skewing how we were eating for the day, because like an hour and 20-minute layover, like if we had any kind of delay, was not going to be long enough to like eat anything in between. And we're like, that is a long time to go without eating. So we're like, all right, cool. It's like, we'll have like a big meal now at like 3, and then we'll pick up some snacks. So that way then we can like shove them in our face while we're running to our next plane as necessary.
Show me
Yeah,
your true
Nashville
form.
has a lot of fun eateries in there.
Yeah, and we ended up at a pizza place that was actually like pretty good pizza. And like reasonably priced too. Like when we saw like the prices, we're like, okay, well clearly like that size is the individual. And so it's like for the two of us, we're like, oh, like we want the same thing, so we'll just get one of the big regular ones. And right before we like ordered, we asked the dude, like, hey, like, what is the size of these? And he shows us what we thought was like the individual, like a personal pan, you know, like that, like a small kind of thing. No. The small was like a regular ass, like a regular ass 12-inch pizza.
Nice.
And the large one was like a 16-inch chonker. And we're like, oh, no, we can just share one of what we thought was the individual. So like we got for $12 this 12-inch pizza at an airport, a 12-inch pizza, for like $12. It was like goat cheese and honey, and like it was fucking phenomenal. It was very good. So we're enjoying our pizza away from people. Like we grabbed it and we're like, let's go into a nice little corner. And there's plenty of unoccupied corners in that airport. It worked out very well. And you're sparkling.
It's weak to electricity.
So like we're enjoying that, and we're keeping an eye on the stuff on our Delta app, and I'm naming and shaming. We're keeping an eye on it, and as we're eating our flights, like, oh, it's been delayed like 20 minutes, but like it's been delayed 20 minutes. We're also not updating your arrival time. Like we think we'll make it up, and it's like, okay, cool. So we got a little bit extra time. And as we finished our pizza, it's like, okay, well now it's been delayed 40 minutes. And now we're like, all right, that's half of our layover time. We're getting a little nervous, and we have a little bit extra time to kill. So like, let's just like walk some laps. That's not the button I want. Is it this button? That's the button I want. So we're like walking laps so we can just like keep moving and then like stay away from people. And eventually we're like, okay, let's head towards, it's time to head towards our gate. And as we're walking up to it, I refresh the app again, and it's like, all right, your flight is now leaving at 7 o'clock. And I'm like, uh-oh. That's a minor problem, because that means we're landing at what is local time 8:40, and our second flight takes off at 9. We're now within 20. Hold on.
You can do it. I believe in you. Hey everyone, drink water. Alright, while Jen's coughing, chat, what have been your favorite costumes that the Phantom Thieves have worn so far? Banana, no, we are not eating Chork. It is... No. No, bad banana. Yeah, Pathos likes the Sentai. Now, do you like the costumes or do you like the soundtrack that accompanies it? Neither is a wrong answer, but yeah, because you get the costumes and you get the both. Nice.
I don't know what happened, but I coughed so hard I was like, immediately I was like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. Like it just like, it was that kind of cough where it just like muscles touch that aren't supposed to, and it's like, we're gonna activate your gag reflex. I did not end up doing it, but I was like, I have to go, just in case. But I did cough so hard, I cried. Like my my eyes have watered up. So that was intense and awful, which I think is a good sign that this will be the end. Sure, you can fucking do it. So now we're like, okay, we're landing like pretty close. This is getting a little sketchy. And so as we approach the gate, the gate agent is making the announcement being like, hey, if you have a connection in Atlanta that takes off after 9:30, you are fine. If you have a connection that takes off before 9:30, you should come see me. And we're like, well, fuck. Okay. So we go up and talk to the guy, and he's like, okay, yeah. He's like, there is a chance. He's like, there's a chance that you'll make it as long as, like, we don't have to delay any further. But as a precaution, I'm giving you backup bookings on, there is one other flight out of Atlanta after the one you're currently on. It's not until 10:30, but it will still get you home tonight. And meanwhile, like, I have been messaging you being like, hey, like, we might be screwed. We might need to stay on your couch tonight. And, like, we had already talked to Mally about, can you stay another night for the dogs? And this guy's like, no, he's like, I've got you backup bookings on the other flight coming out. So if you miss the first one, you'll be able to be on that. We're like, okay, like, that's fine. You know, it's still, we would prefer to get home tonight. So it's like, we'll do that. So he gives us our boarding passes. So we have boarding passes for both flights, essentially, at this point. So this flight ends up getting delayed again until 8 o'clock. And so now we won't even land until after the other flight has left. Not even like, oh, we'll have to be running. It's like, no, it's gonna already be gone. While we're still waiting to board our original flight, we get the notification that our connection is currently boarding. Or it's like, well, that feels mean. That feels mean. I feel like the app should be smart enough to go, hey, don't do that. So we end up not taking off until 8:30. So, and because of how time zones work, we don't take off on our first flight until our other flight is gone. It's not even that we missed it by, like, not landing in time. We hadn't even left. We're like, well, we're definitely doing the backup flight now. So we get onto the flight. They board us. It seems to take forever. After we're all boarded, we're waiting there for a long time, and someone else gets on the plane who is wearing a bunch of Delta stuff, but is not dressed like a flight attendant or a gate agent. Like, they're just wearing something else. So, like, this is a different Delta kind of person. And they start moving down the plane with a little checklist, and they're stopping at different seats and different rows, asking people to confirm that they're who's supposed to be sitting in that seat. They're like, hey, what is your name? And they're marking stuff on their list. And I've seen that happen before. If there's been, like, some kind of weird issue of, like, especially with, like, standby flights or whatever, just try to confirm who things are. But they're going down and they're doing this for, like, I gave up counting after we hit 20 people. And they're not only asking people to be like, hey, are you so-and-so? They're also being like, I need to see your ID and your boarding pass.
Oh, wow.
For people that are already on the plane. And it's not even like any of them are near each other. I'm hearing no common last names. I'm like, I don't know what's happening here, but I feel like it should be concerning to someone on some kind of level. So it takes forever. So we've already boarded super, super late. We're on the plane for another 30 minutes before they even close the door. So now we're like, now we're getting into the dangerous territory of, like, okay, we're leaving late enough that our backup flight we're gonna have to run to. And we're like, okay, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. They even make the announcement on the plane being like, hey, if you don't have a connection in Atlanta, or if your plane doesn't take off until after whatever time it was they said, we ask that you, like, stay seated and let other people who have tight connections, like, get off first because of all the delays we've had and whatever. So they even, like, did that announcement. So we get in the air, we do our short flight, we land, and we land at the A terminal at whatever gate number it is that is literally at the end. where there's always that, every airport has that weird, like, round area at the end where it's like, here's 3 gates that are just kind of like, we're in that. And our connection is in B terminal at that end.
Oh no.
So it's like we have to haul ass to the tram and then ride the tram and then haul ass to the end of the terminal from that. And it's like, oh my god, this could not be further apart in adjacent terminals. They could have fucked us and been like, oh, you gotta go to C or whatever, but it is so far. And we're like, okay, so Jeff and I make the plan, we're like, okay, if one of us makes it to the gate and is like, well, I got separated, they're coming, you can stall long enough for the other one to catch up. So we made the plan of like, get off the plane and just fucking go. Don't wait for the other one. Whoever manages to like run further, faster, whatever, just fucking go. I was like, I had my individual boarding pass, he had his, let's go. So as we're landing, we're waiting to get off this plane, I refresh the app. And the app is still listing the departure time, or is still listing the departure time for our first flight, but is also listing the arrival time for our new flight as my next leg of the journey. And I'm like, this makes no sense. The app is broken at this point. It doesn't know where we are and what we're doing. So it's like, that's unfortunate and a little frightening. So we get off the plane, and Jeff, who regularly runs, is much higher on the endurance chain than I am at this point. So I am able to keep up with him for a while, but then at some point I like kind of lose. I have to slow down. So I'm like, oh, my body's not used to doing this. It's gonna collapse a little bit. I was like, that's fine. He can go. I get a second wind. I start running again. I manage to get down the escalator, and I see the tram is about to close the doors. And so I bolt and leap through the doors as they're closing.
Nice.
Jeff was apparently in the same car and watched this happen. Apparently it was very impressive. I also impressed the 2 little old ladies who were right next to the door when I did this, and they applauded me a little bit, and we made friends while we rode to the B terminal, because they've also had travel adventures for the day. And that's when I realized that, like, whatever was going on wasn't affecting just us and wasn't affecting just East Coast. Because, like, we had heard there were some storms along the coast. We're like, okay, so that's probably, like, delaying some things or whatever. They had been coming from, like, I think they ended up there from, like, Chicago or something. And they had, like, already missed, like, 2 connections and were, like, trying to get to their third one. And so we all, you know, gave thumbs up and wished each other luck. Doors open, I start running, and Jeff comes up behind me and is like, that was very impressive. I was like, oh shit, hello! Because I didn't know he was on the same car. So we run, and we get to the new gate, and the gate is like, waiting area is full of people, so we know we haven't missed the flight, but there's no gate agent, and there's no indication any movement is happening at this gate.
Oh no.
And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I try to refresh my app, and so does Jeff. And my app is still listing the original boarding time for the first flight we already missed, and is still listing the new arrival time of this new flight, and it's giving me no information, and is not listing the correct flight number either. So I'm like, I don't know what's happening. He refreshes his, and his says, we're so sorry about the delays. We will rebook you. We've rebooked you on a flight for tomorrow morning. Click here to claim your hotel and meal vouchers. And we're like, uh-oh. Especially because our apps are not saying the same thing. This is concerning on, like, a different level. What the fuck is happening? So we're like, all we can do is, like, wait. And, like, there's still a thing, like, on like, there's always the boards right behind the gate. It's still listing that there is a flight happening to Austin, but it's saying it's now leaving at, like, 11:30 instead of 10:30. And we're like, okay, well, at least something is here and happening. But what? It doesn't even say delayed on it. Like, what? I don't know what's happening. So eventually there is a gate person, and she starts working on the computer that's, like, right next to the actual jet bridge. And anytime anybody tries to walk up to her to, like, talk to her, she just holds up a hand without even looking up from her computer and is like, I'm not taking any requests for information about this gate right now. I'm doing something else. Okay, so we're just hanging out, waiting, and we're like, we didn't have to run, it turns out, and now we're just like kind of mad about that. So, at the original boarding time, finally she moves over to another computer. She's like, all right, I can take people. And we're like, hey, we were rebooked onto this flight because of a misconnection, and the paper boarding pass we were given with that rebooking says we have to come to you to check in. And still not looking up, she goes, what's the last name? We give her the last name. And she looks at the computer, she kind of cocks her head, she's like, you guys aren't checked in for this flight. We're like, we know, that's why we needed to come talk to you. We got rebooked on it in the little paper, and we're holding up our paper things that say check in at gate. So it says to check in, and she's like, ma'am, you're not checked in. And I was like, immediately I just stopped talking and looked at the floor, because I was like, nothing I'm going to say at this point is gonna be productive, because there's clearly a breakdown in communication happening.
Yep.
I'm gonna let Jeff handle it. And so he's just like, can you get us checked in? And she goes, yeah, and then she takes the paper boarding passes, does something. And she goes, okay, you're checked in, I'll let you know if I have seats for you. And we go, what? And she's like, well, it's a full flight. I don't have seats for you right now. And this is the part where I'm like, that's not what the dude back in Nashville said. If he had said, like, hey, I'll put you on standby for another flight, we would have, like, fucked right off and come to stay with you guys and be like, we're not playing that game. And now this woman is like, yeah, I don't know if I have seats for you. And it's like, well, we're here, so I guess we'll just see what happens. And she's like, if you get seats, it'll be on the board right there. We're like, okay. So we tried refreshing our apps. Jeff still says we don't have, that we're being rebooked to tomorrow. Mine still is confused. So it's like, I don't know what's gonna happen at this point. Shit. So we wait for a little while, and eventually our names appear on the board, and not only do we have seats, we are next to each other, which seems like a weird thing to be able to accomplish on a full flight. So I don't know what this woman's deal was, but we're next to each other, and not even next to each other. I should be more specific. We're in the window and aisle seats of the same section of the same row. So, like, there's no, like, the middle seat has been left open. And we're like, cool, I don't know what's with that. But we'll take it, sure. So we don't even board until, like, 11:30. We get on, and there's somebody sitting in the middle seat in our row. So somebody was assigned there, and I'm like, I'm very confused now. But, like, whatever. I'll take it. So, like, we go to, like, do the little hand wave of, like, hey, because she's got her earbuds in and is looking at something else. And we're like, hey, we're right here. And she's like, oh, and she goes to start, like, getting up to move. And I was like, unless you're really attached to the middle seat, we are traveling together. If you would like the window, I'll take the middle. And she was like, oh my God, that would be great. I've made this woman's day. So she moves over, I get in the middle, Jeff gets in his aisle seat. We're watching everybody else board, and there are so many people coughing so much, like phlegmy, gross coughs. And one of those people ends up right behind me. I'm convinced that is and none of them are wearing masks. Jeff and I were two of the only 3 people on this whole flight wearing a mask. I'm convinced that I got this from her. So, super great, love it so much. So we get on the plane, we do the flight. The flight itself is smooth. The person in front of me is watching a fucking bloody, gory horror movie, and we talked about that last time of how I do not think that should be a thing that is built into the back of the seats, but whatever. We land, and it's 1 a.m. We were supposed to get home at 11. Like, be home at 11. We're supposed to, like, have landed at, like, 10 or whatever.
Calm down.
It's 1 a.m. Everybody just wants to get off this fucking plane. And we watch, you can see through the windows, we have pulled most of the way up to the gate, and we stopped just short of it. and the pilot comes on and says, "Hey folks, really sorry, but there is another plane at the gate next to ours that is a very large plane with a very large wingspan, and they are currently overlapping our gate a little bit. They were already supposed to have left. They are also experiencing delays, so we have to wait for them to pull back before we can fully get to our gate." And at this point, it's 1 in the morning. It's not like the airport's hopping. I do not know why they couldn't just be like, "Hey, our plane gonna just move over a gate." I do not know why that was not an option. But we have to wait for the other one to leave.
Well, Jen, you know FAA regulations say that you're not allowed to have a good time.
Well, they fucking did their job very well. Well, that didn't do anything. What does forget do? Is forget confusion?
Yeah.
I don't know what your fucking deal is yet, so no. I love that.
Can't evenly matched here. Just don't.
Ah, that's not the button I wanted to hit. Fucking fuck. All right. That was great.
Matched here. Just don't let your guard down.
I'm getting so many levels of confused. It's fine. Everything's super fine. So, eventually that plane leaves. We watch it leave. We continue to not move. And the pilot gets on and says, unfortunately, the Hawaiian airline that was next to us, the plane did leave, but they did leave one of their trucks parked in front of our gate, and no one can find the keys or the driver, so they're having to get a tow truck out to move that truck so we can continue to pull forward into our gate.
God. That's insane.
I was like, how is this a fucking thing? How is this a thing that is happening? So we landed and we were on the plane for another, 40 minutes, waiting for all of these different things to get taken care of before they finally move that fucking truck and pull us forward so we can get off the goddamn plane.
Well, apparently, I know how to completely stop an international airport, and it's just parking a truck and walking away, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. So... Sure, do that. Okay, well... I don't know. Okay, that was a move. So we finally get off the plane. I have never seen the baggage claim of Austin's airport be so busy. And I need to
Really?
remind you,
It's like 1 in the morning.
it's like 1 in the morning. Apparently, travel across the board was just fucked. Like, across all of the US was all just fucked all day long. We were not even the last flight to come in that night. We passed people waiting at gates where oh, your new departure time is 3 a.m. and stuff like that. I was like, what has happened to everyone everywhere? Every baggage claim carousel was running, and most of the carousels had more than one flight coming off of them at a time. Ours, they even had a thing saying hey, there is and we watched this person come up as they're making the announcement. There is going to be somebody who is pulling baggage off they're not going to let it stay on the carousel and go through circles. It's coming in on one spot, and when it gets to where it would circle around, someone is pulling it off to make more room to keep new bags coming on.
Oh, wow.
It was insane. It was pure insanity. So anyways, we got home at 3 a.m. It was fucking terrible.
With all of that juxtaposed with us, back in Nashville, so, I appreciate all of the updates just so that you could keep us in the loop, and, Jamf had fallen asleep, and once I had heard you had got on a flight and you had a seat heading to Austin, I'm like, okay, they're gonna make it home, and I'm crawling into bed, and she very sleepily turns over and goes, "Are they okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they're on a plane to Austin. They're gonna be fine." And then we fall asleep 3 hours before all of this happens. I feel so terrible, Jen.
There was no reason. I mean, there was nothing anybody could do, but Yeah, it was, God, it was just a whole thing. It was, apparently I was never supposed to leave. It was your girls, is what it was. That's why they thought, they tried to thwart us and make us stay forever.
Bravenly
I
matched.
know.
Don't let your guard down.
They would have loved to have you.
Let's go.
I don't think this guy is weak to anything at this point. I've tried almost everything, but we're gonna keep going.
The
You're mine.
Finally!
Cool, Joker.
Okay.
You did it. Way to go, Matador. I've never had good luck at the Atlanta airport. I think the last time I was in Atlanta's airport, I was in college coming back from visiting my friend in Florida for spring break, and our flight got delayed to the point where when they finally canceled it, a lot of the hotels at the time were already taken, and it was like the flight would leave at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was already like 12:30 at night at the airport, and everyone on this plane going to Pittsburgh collectively decided, like, we're just gonna spend the night in the airport. Like, there's no point in us leaving, go to a hotel, and then needing to be back at like 5 o'clock in the morning to get through security for a 6 o'clock flight. And all of these, so basically we're at the B terminal near the end, it's actually probably where you were. And we had taken over an O'Charlie's and just like turned it into like a bar and nothing else. There are just beer bottles everywhere in like the sitting area, and just a bunch of like loud, obnoxious Pittsburghers. So like maybe that girl at the party was right. We're all just loud and obnoxious. We just turned it into a bar until they closed, and we're like. They closed like, oh yeah, we still got 4 hours to go. So everyone kind of just took their own gate. Gate number is like, just made it their own. Like I was at gate 46 and it's like, this is my gate. Right. I'm going to take a nap here. No one bother me. And then there was someone at 45, someone at 43. It's like, we all just kind of spread out and had our own gates and made a little Camp Pittsburgh.
It's nice that you at least had your own places you could go.
There's a safe room behind you if you want to save.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out. I'm like looking at the fucking map, trying to figure out how to get there, and I was like, can I quick travel to it?
You're going the wrong way.
I'm trying to. I saw it on the map, but I'm trying to figure out like how all the hallways connect, and I feel like I'm going the right way.
Keep going straight.
Oh, I hear treasure sparkles.
Keep going straight.
This one? Because it doesn't have thingies.
This way.
Okay, well, yeah, do that.
I thought that was the. I am so
exactly.
sorry.
I'm like, I see it on the map. I don't know what you're telling me to do. Yeah. I was like, that's a different thing because I see it on the left over there, so it's like I think I have to go all the way the fuck over here. And there might be a new safe room that's closer in front of me, but it's like I can't see on the map, so I don't fucking know.
Look, there you go.
Yeah,
you found it.
Yeah. This is what I was trying to go to when you told me I was doing it wrong.
I'm sorry. You know what? My brain is shutting down just thinking about flying.
God, it was so bad. Anyways, that's the fucking adventure we had, and then I got COVID from it. So.
You know what? It was probably those two old ladies on the tram.
Fuck, I didn't mean to save over the slot. I was gonna make a new one so I could keep the 69 forever. Oh well. Fucked it up.
Well, just like 69s, they come and they go.
Okay. This button. I want that button. There we go. Anyways. James, thanks for being here.
Hey, Jen, thanks for feeling marginally better.
I'm hoping that I improve more before Saturday, because guess what? Next stream is on Saturday, because it's Wartburg's annual Cure for Crohn's charity stream time. And I'm doing that again. James, do you wanna know what I'm streaming for it?
Oh, I can't possibly imagine.
I'm doing something a little bit different. I have a group of people, and we're gonna stream playing Blood on the Clock Tower. So if you want to watch other people suffer, this will be the great time to do it. Ashley's gonna be there. Liz is gonna be there. It's gonna be fucking awesome. I don't
what?
know exactly how well streaming it's gonna go, but we're gonna try it.
You know what? I'll donate.